got some super sad news the other day and it's time to talk about it. They've had my car ever since. It's making me honestly pretty emotional.
Whoa, oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh. La, da, 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 oh, oh. La, da, da, da. Making our Christmas memories.
Well, this is a sad video for me to be making, to be honest. I got some super sad news the other day and it's time to talk about it. For those of you who missed it, when we were in Utah for Thanksgiving. So actually, let me backtrack a little bit. When Dallin and I moved to Arizona, we left my car in Utah and then we brought his car here to Arizona so that whenever we went back to Utah to go visit family, we had a car to use because we'd be going back so often just because we love Utah. So we figured we have a house to keep the car at. Might as well keep one car there. We really only need one car here at this apartment complex. It's pretty expensive to have a parking spot here, which is crazy to me. We're with each other all the time, so we made the decision to keep my car in Utah. While we were in Utah, we are also doing training for Indy Clover so that we kind of know like all the systems and how it runs and whatever, just like more detailed information we need to know for grand opening. So I was actually on my way to that. If you missed this video, I'm kind of gonna explain a little bit, but if you want to hear more detail, watch the video where I talk about the car crash. I was driving to go to Indy Clover training and the night before it snowed a ton. It was so icy. Snowplows hadn't came through yet. Actually, before I even went off by myself, Dallin had to stay home for a little bit and then he was gonna come meet up with me later. But we hurried and went and got gas together. But Dallin wanted to drive me just to kind of see how the roads were. And we both felt like I could do it. I grew up in Utah. I was used to the snow. So it wasn't a big deal to me. Then we drop off Dallin and I start driving to Indy Clover and I got in a crash. Clarify, the crash was not my fault. Even if you feel comfortable driving in the snow, there are people that don't feel comfortable and there are people that are not very good at driving in the snow. We dropped it off at an auto body shop and they've had my car ever since. We were able to actually drive my car to the auto body shop, but the officer that was on scene told us to not drive it anywhere else other than the auto body shop. So that's where my car has been since. My car was getting some estimates taken on it and basically all the damages were way more expensive than my car's worth, which is a bummer. So basically my car is totaled. I don't have a Utah car anymore or a car in general. And honestly, I'm like so sad. Like this is making me honestly pretty emotional that I don't have that car anymore. It was my first car and there's like so many memories around my car and like I don't know, I always felt so comfortable driving it. I was like never nervous to drive it. I like just loved that car. I was honestly fine to drive that until it wasn't safe anymore. Well, of course my camera died and none of our backup batteries are charged for either of our cameras. We're doing the phone thing. What was I saying before? I was saying that I literally would have drove that car until it wasn't safe anymore. My car was still so safe for being so old. Obviously there's like new features in cars that is more safe, but I'm just so sad about it. My first car is gone. It's totaled. Basically, they called me and said I can basically buy my car back from my insurance company and it would be X amount of dollars, or I can just say it's totaled and I'd get X amount of dollars. It made more sense to make it be totaled rather than do all the fixes. I can get a new car for, well, I can basically get a new car with the money if I were to just total it, or I'd have to spend a ton of money fixing it, way more than they were giving me for fixes. So I'd have to use money out of my own pocket. So we're like, honestly, it just makes sense right now to total it. And it was getting old anyways, so I probably would want to like upgrade my car within probably the next 5 years or so whenever we have kids. We like thought that made more sense. Make it as totaled. And honestly, we're getting way more money than we thought we were going to be getting, which is pretty exciting. But also for me, like everyone else is like, oh, that's awesome, like that's a good amount of money for your car being so old. I'm like, yeah, I guess. Also, the thing that sucks is we literally filled up my car with gas the day, less than an hour before the crash. In the end, it just made more sense to be getting the money from it being totaled. I'd feel weird, I think, saying how much either expenses were. I don't know. For now, I'm just not gonna say how much we're getting for it. Obviously, it's an older car, so it's not a ton. Like, I don't even think you could get a car for that much. Maybe you could. I don't know. I don't know a whole ton about how much cars cost and stuff, but Dal got a super good deal on his car that he has now, and the money we're getting wouldn't even pay for that. I don't know, it just kind of sucks both ways. Either we'd have to use money out of our pocket to fix up the car, or money out of our pocket to buy a new car, and buying a new car just seems to make a little bit more sense, which honestly, like, I'm super sad about. I thought fixes wouldn't be too bad, but unfortunately they were a lot worse than I was. Like, I knew my car was bad, but I didn't realize it was that bad. So I guess it's kind of exciting I can get a new car, but not the way I like wanted it to be, you know? Like, I wanted to be able to like choose when to get rid of that car, I guess, which sounds so weird. Like, why do you care about your car so much? I didn't realize I cared about my car this much, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just like really sad, and I don't know why I'm so sad about it. Just kind of sucks. At this point, there's not much we can do. It sucks I got in a car crash. It sucks that my car is totaled, and it sucks that we don't have a Utah car anymore. So we might, whenever our lease is up, I feel like is probably when we will car shop, but we might go car shopping before that. I don't know. So that will be a fun video to take you guys on, is to come get a new car with me, which will actually, it could be really fun. So when I got my Subaru, it was actually my dad's car before, and he just like kept it until I was 16. I got that car when I was 16, and like I didn't really get a pick, which I didn't care. I loved that car. It was great. It was so smooth. I was like just super comfortable driving it. And I think that's also why I'm having such a hard time. This car is going away because I feel so comfortable driving it. Like, I like Dallin's car, but it just doesn't drive as, like, I don't like how it drives as much, you know? I just like was so comfortable in my car. But honestly, it could be because I drove in it for so long. I mean, I'm 21 now. I had that car for like 6 years. Like, if you've had your car totaled before, tell me your experience. I guess it's just like, because it happened so unexpectedly. Obviously, like, crashes happen so unexpectedly. So I'm curious to know if if you have been in a car crash before and your car was totaled, did you feel this way too? I don't know. I just feel like so sad about it. Also, another thing that sucks is we still have like personal belongings in the car, and we're obviously in Arizona, we're not in Utah, so we have to ask like family members to go get the belongings out of the car, and also they have to, I'm hoping this works out, I think we can have a family member go like release it to insurance so they can take it to a salvage yard, which is so weird. I don't know why, like I feel like I could cry over my car, and I'm not like a car person at all, so it's just like weird, like, so unexpected, and I don't know. But basically, like I was saying, hopefully they allow a family member to release it to the salvage yard or whatever, because we obviously aren't there, and I feel like we could get fined maybe for having, I don't know what will happen. I also feel bad for like family members because we're like putting them out to go get the stuff out of the car. And the day of my car crash, the officer got to our scene and it was 9 a.m. or something. I'm pretty sure it was 9 a.m. But he said we were the 10th crash of the day that he had been to. So there were a ton of car crashes the day of my car crash. So getting into an auto body shop was like so hard. So we had to drive 20 to 30 minutes to an auto body shop. Luckily, we made it safely. My car was safe enough to drive there, but also you don't want to drive it very much. Why I was saying that is because I have family members, basically say the car is in the middle and we have family members on this side of Utah and this side of Utah. So like it just puts either of our sides of families like out to go get the stuff out of my car, and then they have to like keep it until we can get it from them or whatever. I don't know, I just feel bad. That's my story. I am so sad that I have to get rid of my car. But stay tuned for videos where I actually get my own car and I get to choose my own car, which will be really fun. I'm just so grateful that my dad or my parents even like gave me a car to have in the first place, which is so nice. So I know a lot of people are like, I want to choose my first car or whatever, but like I was just so grateful to have a car at that point. And then I ended up loving this car. I probably wouldn't have chose, if I were to like actually choose the car, I probably wouldn't have chose the color on the outside. It was like a gray silver color, and I probably would have done like leather interior instead of like a fabric interior, but I like just loved it. I loved my car. So anyway, that's my story. End of story. My car is totaled. I'm very sad about it. Maybe I'll ask whoever gets my car to film like a last goodbye of my car. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If any of you guys have been in a crash before and have had your car totaled, let me know how you felt when it happened. I hope I'm not the only one that feels so sad about this. Let me know your experiences. Anyway, if you guys got to this point in the video, comment a popcorn emoji. I don't know why I'm thinking popcorn. Anyway, Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Thanks for all your support. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can